The three most important aspects for the property photography is being wide, level and bright. Fairly simple. We advise always using a flash, but a flash which is able to point up the way and slightly back the way so it can bounce off the walls behind you for the best, most soft light effects. Additionally, the lenses that we use are some of the widest lenses on the market. That's probably going to be the most expensive part of your camera equipment. And we try in each photo to obtain as much information in a single image as possible. So at least the viewers, when looking at the photos, can gain more information from less photos, the better.
Video, I'm going to show you the things that I do whenever I'm taking a photo and a video of a housing development. As in, this is the show house, so everything looks fantastic. All lights are working, chandeliers are large. Some rooms are actually still offices, so that I'm not going to shoot that. So the job today is photos, video and floor plans of this property, and get as much stuff as possible, because this place is the only property that's ready for a housing development that's being made. So first thing I want to do is try and make all the rooms nice and bright. However, yeah, got to check what's out the window. So this is where blowing out the window might be a good idea. So yeah, exposing for the room so that the window is just pure white is probably the look I'm going to go for there, which will be fine for when doing video, because it's a fairly grey dark room lit by very weak light bulbs. So flash for the photos, but for video you just have to really up the exposure. Oh, check out the bathroom. Sparkly, nice tiles. But see these tiles? Can you see me? Super reflective. So again, having to be careful with where and how I shoot so that I'm not, my bald head isn't totally in all the pictures going on there. So yeah, mirrors, reflections going on, servers, cool. And again, so the next room, living room, I've been going around turning on all the lights. Let's just get, well, whichever lights I can get on. I'll turn that on in a second. Again, this one, do I keep the blinds down or do I take them up? What's on the other side of this one? It does brighten up the whole room, and this one's not too bad actually. This one's green trees. So yeah, we'll keep that one open. Brings in a lot more light. And into the kitchen. Kitchen's looking fine, however, what do you call it, the splashback, also again super reflective. Putting the light on under there, got the under lights on, got the top lights on. Water cooler, not going to get that in the shot, but maybe the awards for Scottish home developers, should I leave them there? I don't know. But yeah, when a place is done like this and it's got flowers by the windows, it's got the cutlery all made up, yeah, that's not the best view. So again, I'm going to have to figure out how we expose that so it doesn't look really bad. But otherwise, lovely room. Okay, so I'm off to try and shoot it now.
Some of you regularly ask me what is the equipment, the gear that I use for real estate photography. So I'm using Micro Four Thirds systems. I go with Panasonic. I've figured out how they work now. And just the widest lens that you've got with Panasonic is a 7 to 14mm f4. With that, everything's in focus. You don't really need to worry about depth of field at any point, because f4 at 7mm, everything from here to there is in focus, so it's not a problem. If I'm doing photos with flash, I'm still using an old Nikon flash. I got the SB900. Had this for a long time, and it's just not dying. It did cost £300 though, but that works well on my Panasonic GX8 that I've got. And having the flip out screen is what's really beneficial for the photos. This is already like a 20 megapixel sensor, so that's more than double what I already provide for the printers. And for video, I'll actually go with the Panasonic GH4 because I'll go to 96 frames a second for slow motion for the panning and the shots of that. But generally in here, this is what the photos would look like. So if I... This is a tricky room actually because we've got the bath, ensuite there, bright light there. So first we probably just do is actually just shoot the living room. Having the flash on around about 32 power. 32nd of a power. Shutter speed 1/100th of a second. ISO, don't really need it above 200. Now, next bit, the bath or the ensuite shower room. Generally, when shooting an ensuite shower room, you don't want to use flash. Not because it's an ensuite shower room, but because mirror doesn't go too well. So if I have it at what should be a decent setting, so again 32nd of a power, and we're just having flash burn up in the ceiling there. Doesn't look all that great. So here you have to take the flash off and shoot without any flash. So here again, because I'm at 7mm, I can have this down to 1/20th of a second, f4. ISO, I'll bring up to ISO 400. Let's see how that looks now. That looks good, happy with that. Now I'll do it again, but without you in the shot. I would say the same goes for the second bathroom, one where I was worried about the reflection of my head, so take off any things which aren't needed, like the sign saying toilet not in use. Check. Towels look fine, happy with them. It's all done nicely. Here, okay, this is a potential problem, is reflection off of one of these. So if you have it at an angle, again, you don't want to be using flash in a small room like this with all these reflections. So you're using ambient light. That's where we're having all the lights here. Well, ambient light, the incandescent lights going on here. So you want to make sure you're not in the reflection of this. So sometimes have it just angle it a little bit, but not too much. You don't want it hanging out over the side like that, or looking like it's broken in any sort of way. So just having it there should be fine. So yeah, shot for this will look like this. Whoa. So other than the shot from the doorway, there's not really any other shot that would gain any more information for the viewer. If we were to take a shot from the bath, we've got potential reflections going on there, but also, is the viewer really seeing anything else? Anything new? No. The connection from room to room? No, you're just seeing it into hall. So this is really a single shot room here. Now, this room is definitely the challenge room, the difficult room, because it is very weak lights inside the place. They're barely 25 watts. No other roof lights, or ceiling lights I should say, and the view at the back is that. We don't want to have the blinds down because then it'll be just really dark in here, so we need to be a little bit creative but without seeing all that. And again, not using Photoshop, just using Adobe Lightroom. Let's see how this comes out. Right, at the moment there seems to be just kind of no way for me to not show that out there. If I'm trying to get it so that there's a little bit, or it's not completely blown out there. So what I've done is put some flowers in the window. So these flowers were in the living room, so I've moved them. There's no problem with moving flowers. I think that's kind of a bit of a better position to have them in, and hopefully from the kind of angle we'll be shooting at, you'll still see the blue tarpaulin construction stuff going on out there, but it's a little bit more hidden by the flowers. There's nothing else I could really move. I can't move the table because that doesn't really go there. Is there anything else? Can't really. The lights are too big. They wouldn't really work. No, it's pretty much going with those flowers. So here goes the photo with the flowers. Okay, so just to explain the settings that I'm going on, what I'm wanting to show in this picture is over there we have gas central heating radiator, and over here we've got built-in wardrobe. So those are the main things I want to get in. This table that you're on isn't really of much importance. So again, I'm getting myself right in the corner here. I'm getting, again with my widest angle lens, we can see the radiator and the wardrobes. Now, you notice I've got the flash, is at high power. I've got it at 1/4 power. For me, that's quite a high power. And I'm shooting it a wee bit back the way. If I shoot it straight up the way, what happens at the moment just now from this position, yeah, we're getting a shadow cast by the ceiling light, which I think doesn't look that good. It just looks like too much flash. So by just tilting it a little bit, the light will be bouncing, more bounce light going on, and be a little bit warmer because it'll be hitting more of this wooden, this brown wooden door. I've got it at a fairly slow shutter speed because I want to see the light that is coming in. We are getting kind of shadows on the light falling in from the window there, which looks quite nice. So you want to kind of balance a little bit of the light coming in with the flash, but not have it so slow that we're getting a completely blown out window. Although at this kind of position or this time of construction, a totally blown out window wouldn't be too bad, but there are limits. So I'm having it a little bit blown out. Let's see, I'm going to go for a 50th of a second photo and f7. I'm going to go for a slower shutter speed this time. I'm going to go for a 25th of a second, so effectively double the amount of light coming in from outside and from the lights here. So that brightens up the internal lights, and we can see the light coming in again. So again, I think I'm going to go even slower. I'm going to go for a 15th of a second. Again, handheld doing this. We'll see how sharp the images are afterwards. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We're seeing the light coming in from the window. The whole room is nicely exposed, and we don't have obvious flash shadows being cast anywhere. I'm happy with that. Let's see if there's any other angles we can shoot this room from. There's really 2 other angles. This angle, good, shows the wardrobe, shows the hallway out there, and the other angle, this one, that is a really dull angle. It shows into the hall where all my stuff is at the moment, but otherwise this is really just 2 angles, this room. These 2 angles here. So again, from this shot you want to see the door, the wardrobe, and a little bit of the window and the flowers. So for this angle, because the light is completely different, we're wanting to show a little bit more of the bedroom lights. There is a strong light coming in from the window over there, but otherwise, let's see. So I'm going to keep it, I'm going to lower the flash power. Don't need that quite strong. Still have it at f7, and let's see, 15th of a second. What have we got? ISO 400, so we can see the door outside and a little bit of the flowers. 3, 2, 1. And if we lower the aperture down to f4, this should make it a good bit brighter. And if we make it a 50th of a second, 100th of a second. I would say the first one that I shot with is probably my favourite balance of light going on there. Now onto the living room. Now this is a challenge because there's going to be quite a few angles going on here. So first of all, I need to move my stuff out of the hall. I've got my camera bags and my gimbal and all that stuff there. So we've got the initial shot here. Again, we've got a bit of an issue of the outside of that window. Might pull the blind down on that one because we're not getting a lot of light coming in from there. Let's see, how much of a difference does that make? A little bit of a difference. We can maybe pull the blind down on this one as well, about halfway.
give it a bit more of a intimate look, intimate feel. So we're using more of the natural, not the natural, more of the lights inside here, not the flash or the sun outside. So yeah, angle-wise, we've got from the doorway, definitely, showing the kind of layout of the where you would sit and where you would dine. The second angle showing the layout of, again, where you sit, where you dine, where the kitchen is in relation to the entrance and the entrance hall. So a lot of information. Like, this is a high information photo, which is what you're really trying to get across. Again, you could have a slightly more arty one from just here. So look, small changes make big differences to a photo. Shot from the kitchen, that doesn't really do much. That doesn't help show the layout. From behind the dining table, nope, because there's just too much dining table. I might take some like arty shots of the stuff that's here, but another one from behind the sofa, showing that area. That's good. Showing connections between rooms, door openings, kitchen, and living area. Yeah. Would I shoot one just showing the dining area? Not really. So yeah, let's go get a couple shots of these. So here I've slightly changed the blinds. I'm trying to get them so that they cover up a little bit more of the window on both sides, but still keeping them fairly symmetrical. That the more droopy, I think is the term, more droopy. Yeah, that makes it look a bit more cozy, more intimate, even though it's a bright sunny day. Let's see how these photos look. Another shot I quite like to do is I've done around the sofa, but one is actually being from the sofa. That can usually, so get yourself on the sofa, get yourself comfy, and then, because this is the view that people will be having when they buy a house or move into the house. Let's take it with some flash. So the last bit, the kitchen, what you'll find is pretty much everything is highly reflective, including the actual cupboards. And also, I've just taken a whole pile of photos, but I'm going to redo them again because the builders have obviously got all their example tiles. So I need to take them, put them in a cupboard up there. I'll keep them there. I like them. They show awards. And they also add a little bit extra into that shot. So this one again, I'm not going to use flash, because if we use flash it'll look like this. So instead I'll just use a slow shutter setting and a higher ISO. Okay, so that's the photos done. I'm going to say I'm pretty happy with those. It's always easy when a place looks good and has been fully dressed up before you come along. Now it's time to do the video. So the video, I'm gonna get my gimbal out and do some smooth panning. So I'll set up the gimbal on a nice flat surface in the kitchen. So for the gimbal, I'm gonna set it up so it's shot on the Panasonic GH4. So swapping lenses before attaching to the gimbal.